Um, and I'm just going to do one more technical thing real quick. If you don't mind, I like to go live as well in case people want to catch me there. And then I will begin the introduction. So let's just do that. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so thank you everyone, and super excited to have you all. Super excited to be sharing this medicine with you. To just share a little bit of who I am and what I'm doing. My name is Leia, Precious Thunder Warrior. You can call me Leia, you can call me Precious Thunder Warrior, you can call me whatever feels safe to call me. I've been doing this work for maybe 10 years, maybe a little bit more than that at this point. I am originally, my background is in Babylon and I'm Iraqi, Syrian, and then I'm also a little bit on the other, I'm sort of half and half, split down the middle, working with kind of the Gaelic, working with Slavic, and also with Norse, basically, traditions. So I'm kind of pulling from this mix that I've been gifted in this lifetime. And excuse me, we're going to be kind of pulling from that throughout this Halloween series, which I've just been very excited to present because I love Halloween. I always have been. I think I had a goth phase once upon a time. I've definitely been healed by working with lots of different interesting energies, and I'm a huge crystal person. This is in fact my first crystal class, but I have by my teachers in the past been called a crystal keeper because of basically my love and connection to the crystals. So I'm just very excited to be offering this. And I'm happy to give us just kind of a little bit of a lecture to ground us. And then we'll be going into a meditation. We'll be going into our 2 meditations. What else do I need to say about myself? Oh, my pronouns are they, them, but I'm understanding if that's difficult for you to kind of work with and try to explain and, or, try to use. So we'll all be mindful, we'll all be respectful, and, we'll figure it out together. Finally, I'm on Pequot territory right now, originally from Lenape territory, New York, moving into Connecticut. I'm always available if you need anything. So again, we're not going to be talking so much about the Babylon stuff today, but I will say that crystals have been used since basically Babylon and ancient Egypt. So it's sort of not surprising that it wants to come out right now either way. So let's just start with kind of an overview of crystal skulls and crystals, and kind of just talk about kind of the mysticism of this moment. What's amazing about crystal skulls, personally, I find, is that they are this carved shape. They're, and not just a carved shape, but something that is familiar to us. It's a human image that we can easily relate to. We've talked a lot in previous classes about the spirit and all things. And by having this kind of relatable bone face in a crystal, we are in fact really kind of communing with what can be the pure spirit of the stone and the earth based on that. We find that we can kind of gaze into the eye sockets of a crystal skull and really kind of see deeply by seeing through the eyes and seeing through the reflection. That is our eyes and their eyes looking at one another. The skull shape is, as I said, it's really kind of invites that personality of the crystal, and it really kind of hones that frequency of stone translating into human thought, human flow of magic and spirit and intuition. And so there's something really special, I think, about specifically that kind of vibration and carved vibration. For those who might be not familiar with the history of crystal skulls, I'm going to be honest. So I studied crystal skulls under my Mayan teacher. I suppose that was the other thing that I neglected to mention, but I have been trained in Mayan, basically curanderismo. And so I'm so grateful for that teaching and that practice. And as we may know, crystal skulls, if you don't, that's fine too. Crystal skulls are often sort of considered inextricably linked to Mesoamerica and Mayan traditions and Mayan kind of crystal magic and crystal medicine. Now, as I'm saying, I will be honest that the truth is that there's no corroboration that the skulls that were found in Mexico were ever actually left there by indigenous people. So it's one of those things where it's kind of become a modern myth, but at the same time, we can honor that there is sort of this connection that's been built and that was taught to me of kind of using the crystals with as these kind of human skull spirits. So you can do the research on your own, but you'll basically find out that we really can't prove that it is actually ancient Mayan. I invite you to do your research, but it's still really great and the connection is absolutely there. And as I said, I mean, I literally learned it from my Mayan teachings. So always humbly grateful for that as well, everywhere I go. Now, this is very basic. I'm really kind of going to be giving just a very general overview. I've been very curious and interested in kind of doing a lot of crystal work. So we might talk more about that in the future. But right now, what I'd like to share is just kind of some general thoughts on crystals. And of course, what we might know is that they go through this incredible geological process within the earth. It's really a combination of all elements of water, of fire, of earth, and even of air. And there's this kind of very tight compression over millions of years and layering of energy and layering of earth and layering of kind of bones in a way, these sort of bones that are elemental bones in the earth that really do amazing and incredible things. What it also means is that when we do crystal healing, crystal work, we can often relate it to the earthly, which means body healing if you're doing healing, but it can also mean basically manifestation, you know, making the spirit become a reality. It can be kind of doing, how do I put this? Like, it can be about, you know, money and abundance and all these things. And they really have that effect on us, that they are in many ways reflecting the crystal, that physical sort of transmutation alchemically often of spirit into something physical and representation of that. Also, they work at very different vibrations, and every crystal is so unique based on the land that it came from, based on how it was mined, based on whether or not it's carved, based on its colors, its chemical makeup, and even just kind of based on like the hand that formed it. There's so much to be said for just them being basically as unique and different as we are. So that's always something to keep in mind, that literally every piece you have is its own spirit and its own person. And especially with the skulls, it becomes even more prominent. So that's what is, I guess what I would say is beyond that, structure of your crystal and of each type becomes very important, because that is the realization of basically that true magical form. Why? Because structure often has to do with numerology and sacred geometry. So all the sides of a crystal structure, you know, they form into shapes. It can be a hexagon, it can be a square, it can be triangular. It's really incredible, but as it forms, it actually does kind of form into a grid, into sacred geometry. And it's important to remember that as we're working with the crystals as well, that not only are they kind of gridding with us and gridding with our energy and like the ley lines of the earth, but they're very much creating their own grid just through their matrices. And so it's just helpful to kind of bring all of that, because it's not just the earth, it's very much vibration of the internals at the literally like at the bone level. And that's something that I often carry with me as well. Finally, what I would say about the energy of crystal skulls is the following. Excuse me, I don't know why. I think there's a lot of dust in this room, but let's see. So what I also find very important about the energy of crystal skulls is the remembrance that these matrices of energy create the ability within to basically become almost like a computer, and like a holder of information and of solid understanding. So these crystals, and especially the skulls, this is specific to skulls, can be programmed like a computer to hold energy. And again, all crystals can do this. You can program any crystal, but there's something about the receiving of the crystal skull that I find is very important in programming basically your energy in, because again, of that reflection of the human face. And so you can program it for all of these many incredible things: healing, knowledge, divination, spiritual awakening, whatever really floats your boat. They are holding that wisdom, and you can actually spend the time. You won't input it like a computer or as a computer engineer or something like that, but almost as a spiritual engineer. You are putting in your knowledge and building your knowledge with this vessel basically being the holder of your energy. And what's kind of amazing about them is that because they are of such a deep and high vibration, they really have kind of a world of their own. Many people have experienced what you might say paranormal experiences with skulls. They love to move. Tektites are like this too. I've definitely found this with Moldavite, and there's one piece of Moldavite. Oh my God, I can't even. I have this piece of Moldavite that was shaped like a coyote and it just disappeared and it still hasn't come back. But that's kind of like this. It's like there's some crystals that they will move and they'll run and they'll come back when they want to. So it's something to kind of keep in mind, is that they will have a mind and a world of their own. They'll speak to you, but they're also often speaking to each other. For me, they often even come in groups of friends and often in couples. For example, I find these two are married, and his wife is here with me. It's more like his partner. They're all kind of agender in a way, but that's sort of your reading of it too. But they often find connection with each other as well. And so even if they're not in grid, they're often literally living their own life. So I invite us to really tap into this wisdom and tap into this magic today. And again, if you don't have a skull, use this time to practice programming, basically your crystals, and practice programming and kind of engineering that power, that almost paranormal power of moving and whispering and this kind of love between crystals shared. Really bring that in for yourself and use that as the partnership that we will be kind of building between ourselves and our tool today. Because today is all about deepening our relationship to, if you have a skull, deepening our relationship to one skull, or if you don't have a skull, deepening our relationship to any crystal or tool that you have. It could be a wand, could be your drum, could be, I have like poppet dolls. Of course, I left mine in the other room now, but you could have dolls that work with you. You could have even your rattle, your smoke, your smoke bundle. Use what you've got, and we'll still be able to do this meditation kind of going into this realm of crystal skulls. Now, the final thing I just wanted to show, because I especially for those who are unfamiliar with skulls, I'd like to kind of do a little show and tell just to explain kind of the spirit of a skull. So this is one of my sort of, I'm going to put him up to the light here, and you can see he's got rainbows. This is sort of my longest and dearest friend that I have. His name, for those of you who are fans of Lord of the Rings, you might know Thranduil Oberon. So he's kind of the king of the forest in myth and modern myth, I guess you could say. But I also will be using this one today And this is a golden healer. Thranduil Oberon was clear quartz. This is golden healer quartz, and this is Circe or Kirky. And she's also going to be giving us some help and some guidance. Maybe I'll put her up just a little bit, just so you can kind of get a sense of, if you want to, you can kind of, we'll be going sort of through. She sort of offered me the portal that we'll be going through, her and Thranduil together. And these, what you'll find is you will have some skulls that'll be your healing skulls or your sort of your session skulls, but you'll also have yours that are just sort of for your magic. So Thranduil, he's kind of a teacher, but he's more like, he's always speaking to me. And he was alone for a long time before his partner came through. This is Pink Opal. And his partner finally came to me and they were like, I've been waiting for you. And they clicked. Meanwhile, I have all these green skulls. And gosh, the relation is, I'm very confused because for a long time, two of them were partnered and then more came. And then now they're kind of, I'm not sure their connection. They're still kind of working it out themselves. I'm like, are you just all friends now? And that seems to be the case. So there's just a lot of strange kind of connection that can be made. And it's really about even reading their energy and who wants to talk to who wants to be with who. And what you can do with them is when you go into meditation, you can hold them, whereas you'll see we can kind of really connect at the forehead level or at the heart level and just be listening to what they have to kind of transmit to us, because they're our teachers, really. What else do I need to say? I think basically the only other thing that I would say is, if you choose to become a skull keeper, allow yourself to have a diverse group of them, because all of these different vibrations really will kind of strengthen your grid and strengthen the energy of the friendships that they're building. And don't be afraid to buy them in pairs and polycules if that calls to you. Just let them be themselves, because they really are always teaching us. And great. Okay. Thank you so much. That's kind of the end of the lecture here. So what we're going to do now is, if you don't already have them, I'm going to give us like a minute or two to get any tools that you did bring today. So if you don't have your crystals, please go get them. If you have, the best thing that you can bring, if you have anything with you, it's always great to have a basic altar, but if you don't have it, that's okay. Otherwise, a candle and or some kind of ability to use a smoke thing. If you don't have that, some kind of wand. And if you really don't have that, you really kind of like, I've just got a crystal or I've just got like nothing today, that's okay too. We're going to be using our hands, but I'm just going to wait a minute and let everyone go get their tools, and we'll be right back. So I'll give you until like 7:37, maybe 7:36. If you don't have everything, and then you can always put the little thumbs up emoji or something once you have everything. We'll go into the meditation. Cool. So I think we've got everything. All right. So can we get the music started for our first meditation? And also welcome to those who are on Facebook. Super happy to see you. Blessings always. Music, please. All right. So if you have your candles, let's light them. If you have your tools, may we hold them in hand. We open together now, creating a space across distance, joining our heart beams in sacred tribe. We take time to kind of use our tools now, creating a space for ourselves in the room and on this plane to really arrive and be in the present moment. So if you have your tools, your healing waters, your smoke, anything like that, let's create a circle around ourselves, passing the flame or the smoke, or if you only have wand or hands, passing your hands across your aura, wherever you feel comfortable, to keep that intention in your heart that you're now kind of clearing your vibration and clearing your aura. I'm going to be using cedar, which is holy to my people. Giving this an offering to my altar here. I'm clearing my energy now. Again, if you have just your hands, spend time really passing over your aura, or if you have the smoke, and focusing on removing energetically any blockages, any mischievous spirits within us right now, energy from other people, kind of moving in ceremony together, moving in ritual together. You might need to do this a few times. That's okay. Do it as many times as you need. And also drawing a circle around ourselves so that we become connected to sacred space. I'm just going to relay because this cedar is feisty. Taking a moment, really removing, it's seasons changing, liminal space is opening. So sometimes that kind of triggers us. Sometimes subconsciously we're remembering things that happened years ago. We don't even think about it. So just take that time and really clear the aura if you can. It's always nice to get the back of your neck and also any parts of your back that you can reach. Let's see, I also have my other incense here, so I'll take a minute and I'll bless you all as well with the cedar, with the incense here, so we can all be at least in communion of clearing the aura, clearing the energy. And as we are kind of creating sacred circle for ourselves, we are coming into connection with each other as a sacred circle across distance and across time, perhaps. For those on Facebook, for those on Zoom, those either returning or appearing to the recording, and to the crystal skulls, the crystal peoples as well, creating a circle and a grid with each other in this time of spirit, this time of Samhain, of Halloween, and of the beginnings of winter, connecting to the spirits. I'm just going to offer a little cedar as well. If you've kind of felt like you've really done the work, you're welcome to, if you want, kind of just put your hands on your heart for a minute as you can receive my blessing to you. And just kind of be in your space, feeling a little clear, a little lighter from the day. Blessing you with the trees, plant allies of my ancestors, our ancestors, human history's ancestors, human culture's ancestors. Breaking any stagnant energy. And if you even have a little oil or a little water, if you weren't using water already, with my oils. But you can take a little, you can anoint yourself. Got mine here, so I'm just gonna you can do a little on your forehead, a little on the back of your neck. You can also do like this, kind of brushing head space. Okay. And so now that we've taken time to really clear the body, let's work with our crystals. So today I have Circe, Kirki. I still call her Circe. But please work with whoever you feel drawn to. If it's a crystal, if it's a wand. Again, if it's just your allies, just like your great grandmother's with you or something, that's okay too. But let's take a minute, offer some sacred smoke to the tool, to the ally, clearing their energy because they're going to be programmed today. Again, if you have anointing oil, you can kind of dab a little bit of oil if it's the right crystal to do so. And I'm just going to do one more circle again around the skull. Oh, got my own hand. That's okay though. She's powerful tonight, I guess. and really opening that skull's energy so that there's now a bridge of this smoke. You may even want to kind of create one between you and your tool here. And again, kind of opening their space, removing the hand of the maker, removing kind of any of your bad vibes that might be on it, and removing maybe anything from your house or your neighbors or anything that really might be stuck, because we all kind of want to be aligned together. Okay. And if we've all done so, what we're going to kind of do now is take a moment here and connect our earth bodies with these crystal etheric bodies. We're going to now be opening to the psychic and spiritual realms, accessing connection everywhere and every when. Let's all close our eyes now. Excuse me. And really kind of hold your tool and kind of feeling it in your hands for a moment. We're going to go deeper into this meditation, but just for a moment, being in connection, opening the door, saying hello, hi, how are you? And as we take this time now, I invite us to do a little breath work with this being, with this ally, whether it's your crystal or your wand, even if it's your spirit guide, perhaps holding their hand through the ether. Let's take a moment and just kind of breathe with them arriving in the body. What I like to do is breathing into the count of 9 and breathing out to the count of 9. When I say 9, we inhale, and then when I say 9 again, we exhale. Go at your own pace, but if we can follow along, then we all sort of create our grid matrix together and fall into a connection of breath and body. So yellow, let's begin. Breathing in 9. And 9. Breathing in 9. And breathing out 9. And again, 9. 9. 9. 9. Very good, very good. I know it's kind of hard sometimes. I call out now to the ancestors, the animal spirits, Great Mother Gaia, Pachamama, Dawn, Dawn, Great Universe Tree, the Great 9 Realms, the 7 Directions, East, West, South, North, above, below, and in the heart, to the stars and the moon and the universe, to to the little people, the big people, the kings and queens that are around us and within us. We offer you great thanks and ask for your protection tonight in this meditation and ceremony, calling to your guides, your helpers, to my guides, my spirit helpers, my animals, my crystal friends, your crystal friends, for us to be watched over today as we begin to open ourselves to new portals and new realms. We're going to do a little more breath work into this opening, breathing in 9, and breathing out 9. 9, and 9. 9, nine. Very good. If you have any drums or rattles, you can take a moment if you want to put your tool down, but keep in connection with it. Cersei, for example, she's going to go right here. So she's facing me and I'm facing her. I ask that we don't turn on the music so that we can kind of stay in the zone. But I'm going to be using my rattle. And if you have any drums, I might even bring out my drum too. Let's just take a moment and kind of be in ceremony space and opening space. Again, I ask if you're playing music to keep yourself on mute so that there's not too much competing sound, but play along as you'd like to. If you don't have an instrument, feel free to sing, or just feel free to hear my own rattle and continue to kind of be in a space of opening yourself to the earth, to the stars, to any downloads you might receive as we begin. And coming back to your breath. You want to howl at the moon? Now it's great time. This is Wow. As we're doing this, letting the pieces of the self really fall away. Letting anything that inhibits your intuition, your psychic senses, be removed. Receive any healing, any downloads from this rattle, from your rattle, from your drum. I'm feeling a special focus on the heart today, but also put some focus into your feet. Take a moment with my drum. You keep doing what you need to do. And really putting our consciousness into the feet, into the body, arriving in ceremony in this circle together. Doing a final breath here. In 9, 9, 9. One last time, 9, 9. Whew. And I'm now going to offer a prayer for us all. A few prayers, in fact. As we do so, continue that breath, continue that kind of open mind. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Uhdina as-sirata al-mustaqim sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim wala dhalin Ameen. Sadaqallah al-Azim. Bless you and yours. Bless the cottage you live in. May the roof overhead be well thatched and those inside be well matched. May you be poor in misfortune, rich in blessings. May you know nothing but happiness from this day forward. Together we reflect on the situations that we find, those that bring unease to our mind. Ask them now to be replaced with love and seek strength to change from guides above. Empowerment and strength enter our life, away from stress, pleasing others, and emptying our cup. We are cared for, we are loved, we are free from strife. We can say no and still gently and powerfully lift others up. And here we know now that we are connected to every being. All life is one. We pay special attention to our heart, the four chambers of earth and water, powering our air and fire, our own home of enlightened self. If you'd like to hold your crystal, you can now. As we feel the miraculousness of our godhood, goddesshood, goddesshood, and we remember who we are, dancing the dance of infinite connection, activating creativity codes in the matrices of our bones and our flesh, opening ourselves to the numerology and harmonic cultivation of our spirit. We are melding with the ever-flowing rhythm of the rivers of time. We are the life breath, and we are the life body. We banish any obstacles now and invite a little harmony with the shadow. We are welcoming peace, and we are releasing, as that release is a part of the sacrifice we offer the spirits, and most importantly, the spirit of our skull. Taking a moment now and returning to our skull, perhaps looking at it face to face and seeing the reflection. Again, if you have a crystal, still taking a moment to see the reflection of yourself in this being, in this creature that is both you and not you, just as you are yourself and not self. Taking a moment to fully regard our skull or our tool, and feeling its weight in our hands, any lines or inclusions. If it's a wand, feeling the make. And if you are connecting simply to spirit, really taking in that physical form of your guide, your ally today. See how, if it has a face, even if it's a wand or if it's a crystal, it may still have a face to you, connecting to what you might see as eyes or nose, feeling how these pieces are formed, what the teeth look like, if there are, really witnessing with your physical eyes the full being very important that, above all, you share your warmth with this being, so that if it's cool to the touch, it slowly begins to warm up with the heat of your hands, sharing your energy, sharing your heart. I mean, I'm just spinning mine around now, really seeing every piece. Connecting fully to the skull, to the crystal, kind of like petting it. When you're ready, pressing, if you have a skull, pressing the forehead to your forehead. If you have a crystal, pressing what feels like the face or the front in a way. The most perhaps significant point, perhaps it's third eye center to your third eye center. So we're connecting like this. And taking that moment now to receive that connection between you, yourself, and your tool self. Relaxing into this connection, relaxing into the energetic cord that is being created. Relaxing into the bridge between you and the spirit being on the other side. And receiving, I'm putting mine down, but please continue to connect to yours. And again, if you don't have a crystal skull, allow that bridge to also be formed through this portal with Friend Dwell and his friends. Our skull and our bone matrices are reflected in this tool, in this crystal, and we are recognizing the crystalline nature of life within each other. We sparkle as each other, and we are heightened as we connected to this being. And as our spirits lock in to a matrix of sacred geometry, we are all formed in a flower of life, taking in its aura, seeing it in spirit, noticing how its power and energy feels, smells, sounds, and receiving any downloads here as we come to understand its personality, coming into true contact. and beginning to understand the engineering of this crystal, aligning with the spirit and asking for its teachings, asking for its intention of meeting you today, so that as you are recognizing this spirit with your boundaries and with your protection, you can allow for that bridge to include love and excitement, and to really see what programming is available to you. And coming into this alignment of programming and understanding, let us now place the skull in our heart space, or this crystal, or this tool. And if this is our spirit ally, perhaps we invite it into our hands, connecting to our heart as well. Connecting the key of your energetic heart to the receptacle, to the vessel of this skull, of this crystal, welcoming it as your familiar, your ally, and your partner in magic and medicine work. Sharing now in a download of programming, unlocking that which you need from it, and receiving that which is meant for you. And at the same time, sending that which needs heavy release, that which does not serve, that which blocks your manifestations, that which makes your heart heavy. Send it all to be transmuted, to be changed. Let's meld spirits and take one final moment in this exalted state of connection. Giving any thanks, giving any appreciation. And we'll come back into the room. Take a break for a few minutes, just like a minute or two. This was more active meditation, so we'll pause the music and sit in silence for maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then we'll go into the second meditation. Okay, let's get the next one started. So if you have your skull or your crystal, take a moment and get comfortable with it again. Taking in the magic, the divination, the hidden mysteries, and the power. Connecting with this density and frequency. And tapping back into the ancient wisdom of the crystal, formed in molten fire and water, metals and glass, and volcanoes erupting to find this perfect form. We're becoming open to the possibility that we may find and utilize all of this ancient wisdom, that we can knock at the door of the energy of a world that may resemble ours, but is in every way different, and is in fact an entirely other world. we listen carefully, we may find that this crystal is offering us an invitation, an opportunity to see the world through its eyes. So let us allow ourselves now this chance to enjoy, to be plucked from this world and into a portal, like an eclipse, a doorway that moves us towards somewhere else. As we do so, let us also ask that this crystal bless our feet and our heels, so that even as we fly, we're always grounded to this earth, subject to only, in fact, a journey that encompasses an awakening to the knowledge and wisdom that we are meant to receive. And so we are moving out of this room, out of our bodies, and into another place. Let us focus on our mind's eye and look for a vision now of this travail to the other realms, being open to our dream vision, our psychic eyes. Together, we are in circle. We are falling through a cave entrance, moving through tunnels of the earth to the hidden realms, floating through fluorescent plants and crystals like tunnels at night. There is the glow of electricity in the bones of the earth, greeting us and coming to meet us. And we are welcoming in a focus to meet this place. We pass through these tunnels that feel unending, but as we do so, we come to see that things are changing, that we are in further transition, as the skull invites us to pass through these rainbow halls of stone into the realm of the people who are other than human. This crystal is taking us on a vision quest to find the energy field of the beyond. And just as skulls can be representatives of transition and true change, this crystal now is taking us to a place of change for ourselves, a place that is a portal gateway, a doorway shaped as a skull, a representation of a full ending and a new beginning. So when we are ready, we may enter this skull doorway, moving into the portal of the spirits of the crystals. Work with Thranduil if you so choose. Work with Circe. Work with anyone who you feel called to. You may be joined by other skulls, other crystals. You may in fact be moving with your skull. When you are ready, allow yourself to be invited into a trance of the cosmos. For we are coming to be with the spirits. In Babylon, this was a kind of earth behind the earth, the underworld as well as the other world. The other world, of course, also being a term to those of Gaelic traditions. This was the place of the shadowy corners of the desert at night, the caves holding mythical secrets, the promise of unknown spirits, and a great mystery of the galactic universe. And as we're passing into this realm, we are opening the crown chakra and soul star beyond, the other world within ourselves, the mastery of the world that is not ours. As we connect to the mastery of the spirit that lives in our crystal, that halo of our crown above, the crystal quartz of sacred geometry, aligning higher chakra systems with the celestial, a fountain atop our head and our eyes and our mouth and our ears. We are multidimensional now, experiencing the multiple dimensions. For the whispers, the voices. You may feel your own body moving, feeling activations, feeling like we are shaking, moving with the energy. May find some use in welcoming this movement if it feels natural. Be with your body and your aura as we are moving, as we are greeted by the many toothy smiles of the crystal skulls and their supernatural computational engineering, coming in contact with their design, their engine of spirituality, the psychic energy that they maintain here in this plane of consciousness. For we are shifting now to our physical body turning into crystalline, and our crown growing and growing, and our root growing and growing, becoming our own prism. We are coming to take part in a dance of the creatures and spirits, in the revelry of our activation, becoming one with the consciousness that is beyond our physical body, dreaming through body and through DNA as we become altered by the spirit of our crystals, the spirit of the crystal skulls. allowing for a true melding of your energy with your crystal. Your body becoming a wisdom and storage for the ancient knowledge codes within this being. So that your programming is shared and your spirit engineers something exceptionally new. For we are in a time in which the spirit world is closer to us than ever before. But may we always know that the spirit world is just beside us, just as this crystal is just beside us. Let us unlock true freedom so that all conceptions of magic, of time, of space, of miracles are destroyed. And instead, we are living with that great spirit within us at all times. All ego dissolves as we are in union with the formless energy of the altered other world. We are spirit, and spirit is us. The ancient masters place us in a pillar of radiating endless power. And in the frequency of the crystal grid, the ley lines of the earth aligning with us, tectonic plates downloading and uploading the energy of the stars and the star beings. We are ingested at this center point, each center points of our grid together, a vortex whirlpool of our own wisdom, deep and intense, with the wisdom of the forests and the waters and the ancient hunters, the grandmothers and grandfathers who threw bones and stared at the cosmic. It all moves through us, all downloading, all life, wisdom, medicine, magic coming to us. And we find a pure silence here, pure quietude, as our third eye is seeing all, seeing ourselves, seeing the true state of the spirit order. We are a projector for the great universe. And so we are charged at this center point at this whirlpool vortex point, in this pillar, in this prism, with glory. And there comes a great wave now, a wave of crystalline lava, of clear silicone and quartz, of energy that is the enhancer, a great blanket, a transmitter and amplifier of blanket that washes over us, laying us to rest, to rest, to rest. And there is something cozy and comforting as we can allow this blessing, as we choose to receive it, bowing to the crystalline waves of the earth in the times before carbon-based life, before spirits looked as we knew them, and as we become blanketed in a deep body and soul comfort of the elementals, so that all we know is dissolving. We are no longer stuck or stagnant. We become clear, like this blanket, like this wave, like this earth. Bring a blessing here. Blessings of the cedar plants as we are clarified. Connecting hemispheres of the brain, connecting the veins and the joints to this clear, crystalline self, resting as multi-dimensional self, becoming full reflection of our crystal, as our crystal too becomes us. Becoming enveloped in a great silence of true power with the universe. And Thranduil wants to come and speak, so we'll let him. Let us be carried through the cosmic cosmos on these crystalline clear waves, going deep into the earth, our center whirlpool, our center vortex, becoming the center of the very universe itself, always expanding and growing. And I share with us two final prayers as our heart beats and joins with the heartbeat of the universe. Our skulls hum and sing with us as we honor Great Earth Mother Isis and Great Earth Father Osiris here with us today and always in my temple. The first trans man deity, you might say, or not, the great grandfather. We grow from the earth and we share her fruits. We fly with bright wings and we reach the stars. We are immortal with all that is. Evoe, Isis. Holy Isis, holy Osiris, we give you thanks that your love, beauty, and truth are manifest with power and peace throughout all spheres, within all beings. And we accept your blessing now in mind and heart. Evoe Isis, Evoe Osiris. From here, let's return when you're ready, coming back through the portals, through the tunnels, with your crystal, coming back through the doorway, coming into the space. All that energy received and integrated into your body and into your mind. We'll take a moment to just fully arrive. And then we'll share. Music can stop now. And thank you to those who are on Facebook. This is where we say goodbye. I wish you a wonderful evening, and you're always free to message me Yes, goodbye. So I'm going to stop the live stream and then I'm going to stop the recording.